chew here. Ducky will get the spear ready, throw it right and impale him against it. He's going to take some damage and a leap over will be first blood. Ducky strikes it first for the Valkaries. SOT trying to turn around and get one of his own and knock up is good. Emil gets a kill on inbound on the other side. SOT still trying to go for this kill, but Ducky's body blocks are just too much, and the decoy from Johnny enough to get the kill. 3 up now for the Valkaries.
Just a simple 1, 2, 3 punch. You overextend a little bit there on the Scarabs. You know, Solar Troll, I think, overstays their welcome as well. Scream goes too deep, and then SOT just tries to get too much. Maybe too much tunnel vision trying to kill off Johnny, make it a 1-for-1 trade. I don't know what happened in the dual lane, but I can go ahead and bet it was a pluck into on her doing on her things, because that is what this lane is designed to do. It has been designed to do this since Smite was playable for any players outside of the devs. It has been the classic lane that I think only maybe is dwarfed by like old Ymir on her, which is another one that does a lot of similar things. One good wall into a stun. Here it's just a pluck that then lets up into a lot of easy confirmed damage. And with so many walls around there, as well as the pillars you can place up, I think it opens up a lot of opportunities. This is a good look for Emil to be able to get this early on as well. I mean, it's not a crazy amount of pressure just yet. You can see it's still level 3 to 3 in terms of.
Oh, what up, Scream? Lots to watch for the podcast. I missed y'all's set yesterday against Dragons, and I missed today's set, so I have to rewatch.
I swear, every time I look over at this dual lane, it's
for the podcast. So
auto attack range or
yeah.
Auto attack distance of this dual lane. He is
okay. I kind of just want to watch this at like 2 times speed.
Really with this Fafnir, but he's only took that first death, and interesting to note, it's actually inbound who goes for the war flag start. Yeah. Previously in the past, it's only been Rapper really going on the start, but inbound decides he might want to try and take a spin on it here with this Fafnir, so curious to see how that will pan out for him. In the solo lane, we do see a Bumbus dagger from Ducky, a little bit of extra oomph in the jungle for him, and maybe some extra damage later, whether it be that Bumbus hammer or that Bumbus spear that we've seen so popularized in SOT. He'll go for a bluestone pen, just a little bit of extra wave clear, but SOT doesn't need wave clear right now. He needs help. Johnny is here, level 5 on the Loki. Missed the base together, SOT has that ultimate, really gonna get off Tommy Wheel. The shield is good, but not enough. Ducky leaps down right on top of his head and puts a 4th one on the board for the Valve. I mean, there's 2 ways I want to look at this. First off, Odin is
well, C-Ball gets to 55, baby. We lose, and then we win, then we still FG and win.
Stop Scream's aggression. That's easily a double kill for Scream if that stun doesn't come through with how low no mana
wow.
Ducky is.
Is that what I should bring to the podcast? Well, you see, they lost, and then they won, and then they stole a Fire Giant one. That's really air conditioning. Balls.
In fact, Ducky even said in the interview, man, I really don't like playing Odin that much because of ping, it makes it a little bit harder, but you could have fooled me, man. 2 kills on the board for him, a 3 total just between him and Johnny, and then that solo or that kill in the 2v2 for Emily 2 earlier on gives them a nice little lead in duo. You already see about 1,000 gold in favor of the Valkaries just 5 minutes in. And that's, again, a good charge, plus 4 kills across the board without any being interact from the Scarabs. I will say, the Scarabs have a draft that 10 minutes from now is going to run house, right? I think that this is, if they get even just close to even into a late game team fight 5-on-5 with their kind of draft, they are going to be able to take any neutral objective, any 5-on-5 fight that the Valkyries step up to, unless something goes catastrophically wrong for them. Someone's out of position, which admittedly for the Scarabs has happened quite a bit over their last few sets, or that somebody maybe makes a mistake or has to use some relics in an opportune time and then Johnny's able to capitalize it. Like, there are a lot of moments in late game fights where the Valkyries can still win.
They're kind of rap godding right now.
The Scarabs had a really great team fight draft, and so the Valkyries are going to have to take this lead and just grind as hard as they can to get it as large as they can. Make sure that the Scarabs won't ever fight them on that equal footing late game. While Emil is trying to steal away that heartbeat.
Yeah, I'll just say directly from the goat's mouth. They lost, and then they won, and they stole Fire Giant one. I didn't really watch Pixelman do that. I did see you play Baka yesterday. But we were outside talking for 9.5 hours, and then I drove home, so I didn't get to watch y'all set yesterday. But I did see you went 2-1 with the Dragoons, so that's kind of cool.
Although for Chunga it is a huge chunk of damage that all of a sudden joins the fight. So it's going to be helpful to have, but I feel like Screams right now is a lot more essential for what he's trying to do. And I think they're going to have to slow their roll a little bit for the Scarabs. I actually love the way the Valkyries are playing this early game right now, getting aggressive. I mean, Raffer, maybe a little too deep there, trying to steal some back camps on his own, but he's going to be fine because he's a Guardian and he's Sobek, so he'll be able to walk out. He has his ult. It's just this little bits of play, even if it's a little experience that you can share from the jungle, that's a small lead Johnny's going to be able to pick up over Scream. And that, again, grows into a huge deal. Fun fact for those at home who haven't seen a whole lot of Chunga, just because she's either not being played in your matchups or because you haven't seen her here in SPL. Let's talk a little bit about her ult because you brought that up. That Waxing Moon can be a major team fight turner, especially if she catches too many people in it. Every single person hit with that ultimate, the next person in line takes an additional second of that stun. It's 1 plus 1 second for each god already stun. So if you hit all 5 people, that 5th person basically does not get to play the game because that's a 5-second stun, and that's from a single hit. That's not a hard CC chain that just goes wrong in your middle. That is just you're at the back end of that fight. Rapper has to use his ult to try and get away, or 3 on this left-hand side, trying to pressure up that purple buff early on. Johnny will rotate over and help Emil, but Rapper is the one who needs the help. He gets caught in the middle of the ultimate Scream, and the Stewart will be able to finally put the Scarabs on the board. First kill up for them. Good news is it's just Rapper that falls. Bad news is that's exactly what the Scarabs can do when they group up, and you don't have a lot to fight against. I actually love this call from the Scarabs. Call from the Scarabs. So the Scarabs can just go for a nice and easy Gold Fury. Johnny is here. He's got his ultimate. Will he use it? Try and go and get aggressive. He will. The ult gets the stun, but inbound falls down. At least able to trade 1, but it's a Gold Fury for the Scarabs. Trading your support.
Nice try, Johnny.
Admittedly, you kind of got a 2-for-1 trade if you think about it. Rapper and Johnny die, and they get a Gold Fury. Yeah, you lose inbound. That's a trade you make, regardless of any scenario.
Just get the Reddit quote. Yeah, we don't need a Reddit quote. We got a shirt from the goat.
We've seen a lot less of him lately, but that is exactly what he can bring to the table. And I think it just goes to show how difficult in a lot of these team fight engagements, although that one maybe wasn't the full team fight, but just grouping from the Scarabs, how strong that is going to be, and then how difficult it will be to retaliate against some of the other Valkyries. Ducky gets to play the bully here on the right side of the map, stealing away a blue buff from SOT. SOT is going to have a whole lot of fun in this night game. Rapper
doing the best that he can to be a disruption against Scream, but it is a BaRRaCCuDDa, and he can just eat any of these minions that he wants to. He can eat pretty much anything on the map that isn't a jungle boss at the very least. Imagine, God, now just having nightmares thinking of a BaRRaCCuDDa just being able to eat like a Pyromancer or a Gold Fear. That'd be...
I thought Fire Giant.
Oh, no.
I think it's just be funny to see the animation.
Oh, yeah,
just
not like Ragdoll like collapse in on himself just in the middle of all that. Obviously, there'd have to be a different threshold. There's no way he could get like a 25% threshold against a Fire Giant just eat that. That'd be absolutely absurd.
Then we start entering conversations like Hold Hog and like BaRRaCCuDDa becomes top meta for his execute on objective.
No, I haven't seen any subs.
Disgusting watch inbound. He's gonna get CC chain, absolutely disgusting CC chain by the team. He'll go up into draconic form. Rapper.
Yeah, Destiny bought very tiny pumpkins for the house. I don't know what. Ooh, nice. Run, Stu!
After the stealth will not get the follow-up kill, but it would at least get the ultimate burn from Scream. They get a good kill on inbound. They burn a lot of
Fred?
from the Scares. Admittedly, you also had to burn a lot of ults as the Valkaries to get there. They didn't get any relics. That's actually one that is very impressive to me. The beads not needing to be used by Stuart or BaRRaCCuDDa when the engagement, but inbound didn't have to use the sprint or didn't choose to use the sprint. And Scream just with really lightning fast reflexes was able to ult and make sure he doesn't get plugged. I mean, things like that are really going to help separate a lot of these little engagements. But I like the fact that
I think they're too small to carve.
Call for them to make it, and the Valkyries falling behind just because of that fury. They haven't really slowed down the way they were playing it. They recognize that they still have a little bit of power early on, and right now you're seeing it in glimpses of their 4 rotating. This is like a small thing. Chang'e having a little bit of movement speed whenever you dance theoretically can help you rotate throughout the lanes as well. So I expect to see Zeros over in the left lane a little bit more maybe than BaRRaCCuDDa. But also you have to admit that it's nice for Zeros. He doesn't have to back every single time he wants to buy a new item, and so that's going to be able to help keep his farm going for him. So far, it hasn't amassed a level or anything over BaRRaCCuDDa, but I expect to see a little bit more pressure coming out from mid lane for the Valkyries.
You know, that's the good thing to bring up is that Zeros is playing the only guy in the game who doesn't have to go back to base to get his own item. He can sit there and farm up, and as long as he has
just got a soul gem without having to back.
Yeah, he's still standing there in the mid lane. That's the help of that rabbit, man. That rabbit used to take forever to get down those lanes, and then got buffed, and now it's a lightning fast way to get your items back online, to get yourself some extra points. Now, the thing to know with it is you can only get one thing at a time, so you can't buy multiple wards, you can't buy multiple potions and an item. You can only get one potion, one ward, one item at a time, but every little bit can help to make sure you can maintain some farm here in mid lane.
I'm going to say what is probably going to be a controversial-ish statement.
Okay.
I think Chang'e's kit might be my favorite in the game.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. If Zeus gets collapsed on in mid lane, he's diving back under his tower, but that's not going to be safe enough for him. John goes in to get Scream, and the dash swipes are good enough to take him out. Now BaRRaCCuDDa, maybe a danger. Ducky is rotated over the case, drops down. BaRRaCCuDDa caught in the middle with no leap and no escape. He may be easy pickings here, but it's just the frontliners focused on. Not enough damage going through just yet. Thundercrash not going to get him out. The Flute Stone or the damage after taking him away. Those thorns pile on. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in the mid lane. Valkyries on the upper end.
Oh, Raffer barely gets out of there. Johnny barely gets out of there, but out they are. Well, okay, Raffer played a little close, man. Come on, telling you out of there. Get out of there. He's going to be able to stay alive just fine. A really good retaliation from the Valkyries. Good cage. As of right now, there's no Phantom online. Solar Troll just is now level 13, so that might be something they look up. And level 11 here for inbound, so it might be on the horizon for them. And that cage lockdown is maybe the biggest deal for them. I mean, that is a great pick individually onto Zeros, but because they don't have anything for retaliation, you get picture perfect ass quality on killing Zeros, and then a great set of walls from Ducky.
Run, Johnny, run. Run as fast as you can. He'll make it out thanks to the cage from from Ducky, stopping SOT and place SOT low on mana. Not much further chase, so Johnny does get to make it out, but he had a lot of it thanks to Ducky just being this massive frontliner, this 2-level lead that he's been able to amass has helped him jump in the middle of these fights with really little to no care for anybody's life.
I feel like Johnny has also spent, unfortunately, a lot of this game, I feel like has been half health or less, right? He has been
lived
just
on
the side of potentially going down, and Zeros is going to have to be careful in this mid lane. You can see, yes, you've got good healing, but that damage from BaRRaCCuDDa as of this point, especially with the Divine Ruin finish, is nothing to scoff at. You're going to have to be worried about the pressure he provides, especially if inbound hits a stun or if, Scream just happens to show up after the initial burst of damage. So there's a little bit of pressure on the Chang'e already. You can see that despite that Gold Fury earlier, like Gold hasn't necessarily swung heavily in either side of these teams. It's all been these kills right now. And the Valkyries, if they can continue controlling that Oni Fury's back up, they do have a little bit of pressure to try and at least scoop it away.
Man, I feel Ducky's paying. He just wanted to take that tier 1 tower SOT, pops that barrier. He's going to try and get the barrier. Oblivion has to push away. He can't get to the tower for Ducky. The minions will be able to take it for him, but man, Ducky is just being bullied by this barrier alone. Oni Fury started up by the Valkyries inbound and Scream at the front lines for the Scares to try and stop this one. Rapper, we got Plucky inbound, throwing the back line, but a quick leap out from Dwarf, make sure he gets out of danger. But the Oni Fury started up one more time by Valkyries.
I think worth mentioning is that the fact that the Valkyries have beat the Scares at one point this year. Granted, they were in a wild disarray for their roster changes. But I know it's something that burns, I think, for the Valkyries. This is just such a risky call.
Zeros goes in, find a 2-man ultimate. Now BaRRaCCuDDa has to use the beads and get out Stewart's.
I cannot cast this fast, sorry. Also, I'm playing to Vin, so not really paying attention to this game. Even though I probably should be.
Ducky is here for the team, and now right back to the Fury. The Valkyries go.
And that's the exact setup a majority of their fights are going to need. Someone get the beads or the Aegis off of the
Dude, also, I am like delirious right now, chat. I am so tired, man.
Rapper is low. The ultimate from SOT takes him down. The Scares steal away. The Fury can inbound, make it out with his life. He's living on a sliver of health, making it back to the tier 1 tower with a big plate form. He's going to get some healing back with the chorus, and the leap is enough to get him out. An objective steal, a kill off the tail end, and maybe even more if SOT can close the gap on Johnny.
I am perplexed by inbound positioning right now. He wants to give assistance to SOT. He will be able to do so, but that is such a dangerous game to be playing, and yet they still end up being able to walk out. I want to say slightly ahead. It's unfortunate you lose a lot of the relics, Stuart and BaRRaCCuDDa, but now that you've especially picked up the Pyromancer, it's overwhelmingly in your favor. You steal an objective, and you're able to get that fight, force the Valkyries to feel foolish. I mean, it felt like a risky call to begin with, but then as time went on, they just kept it so close to low, but no one has insane confirm at that point. The Valkyries need to figure out their game plan a little quicker.
This is something that you can only see happen by a Nike, is the fact that he's able to stand under the tower. Let's take a second look at that Oni Fury steal by SOT, that Sentinel of Zeus, kills Rapper immediately with it, and then just turns over and slams a couple of damage with the barrier, and that's enough to take the Fury away, and then the fight after goes in favor of the Solar Scarab, so a nice objective steal.
Poor Valkyrie.
I'm just going to put it as he's been kind of bullied here on this right side. He's only
shocking.
He's 2.5 levels down, closer to that 3 against Ducky, but he's still able to make these high impact plays and keep the Solar Scarabs alive.
And realistically, one of the things that showcases itself in that play is that it didn't matter how far behind he was. Ducky, and pretty much anybody on the Valkyries, they have one job, which is stop from getting in there.
Well, they tried.
Stop just reads the stun. You see Ducky go up for the charge, and he just steps back, sees the stun go right in front of him, and is like, all right, cracks his knuckles, walks on in.
You delve into Bez dots for you, sure.
Steals an Oni Fury away. That's gonna give him some good pressure, or at least theoretically, it would have given him some good pressure. Seems like the Valkyries
As long as it's not Lucrease and only live.
More precarious. Again, they got the Pyromancer on the back of that for the Scares. Scarabs. You're looking at
The
like,
board.
a kill lead for the Valkaries, but a gold lead for the Scarabs, which makes things feel a little more rough. Because, and we've seen this, the Scarabs actually, as a team that has done this in the past, where you're winning a lot of fights, but you're losing the objectives. It's game 1, phase 1 versus the Dragons was a lot like that, where they're just slaughtering everything that's against them, and they were killing the Dragons outright, but they were losing the map, and that's what's happening to the Valkaries right now.
Inbound plucked under the tower, but not a whole lot of follow-up until Emil shows up and slams with a pillar impale on landing, but not much further beyond that. The Valkaries at least get to save their tier 1 tower that was under fire by the Scarabs, pushes them back. The Scarabs, they've got themselves about 1,500 gold lead over the Valkaries with the help of that Fury going down and the kills after.
You should back right on top of that word.
Highlighted so beautifully there by SOT.
That looked like intentional, like backing like right on top of that word.
Because you're not gonna break through this barrier, your minions aren't gonna do anything. I mean, it's the funniest thing to be just watching an entire wave of minions.
Aren't you vegan? How do you get your protein? Meat. Meat is the only way you can get protein. So I just eat meat. Holy. Oh, troll fire giant call maybe. If you set on the ward, it doesn't work.
Granted, they don't then get 3 kills. Now they get the best of both worlds. They get 3 kills, maybe 4. If Saw gets caught out here, and they should be able to get a fire giant off of this back. I mean, they don't have Rapper right now, so they might need to wait for him to come through.
Yeah, that's actually a very common misconception that it's hard to get protein on a vegan diet.
We've seen it too many times, and I will be so utterly disappointed and have no faith in the Valkyries that happens.
Okay, well, here's his moment to shine. Inbound is the only one on this right side of the map to try and stop this fire giant. He's at half health. The Valkyries are doing best they can to zone him out. He's got the lead failed, but he's not gonna go in.
Well, I mean, imagine not suiciding for them. I'm Schwa. Thanks for 2 months, dude.
That is a good fight for them, where they're able to separate and string apart the Scarabs and pick
Schwa, we gotta talk.
We've gotten this performance. Realistically, we've only gotten this performance out of him on Loki this year, and it has been.
We gotta talk.
But if anything that Scream is doing right now is a showcase.
So, when you're against me in ranked, I need you to not hit me. Is that like a thing that we can work out together? Potentially? Possibly? Is that like... Is that a thing? I'm vegan? Yeah, I've been vegan for 6 months now? It's a revert purse, lol.
Rapper will go back to base, and that's the call for the Valkyries to make their retreats. They come up with a little bit of a net positive, about 500 as a net positive compared to the trade they took on right side, losing that tier 2. But Valkyries still
okay, dude.
small lead here, 23 minutes.
Look, I'm just... Okay. Like, if I play Charybdis, okay? I need you to not attack me. Okay, because I'm playing a D-rated character, and, you know, I would like it if I was able to play the video game, you know? So, you know, when you lock in, like, Odin and just dumpster me, is that good for is that good for either one of us, you know? Also, I felt so bad for you. That time you were Ganesh, and I was Charybdis, and you dashed in on that guy, and I was just like, 17, 17, 17. And then we both died. So... And then you took out your anger on me, like, the next game after that? As I was Charybdis again. So... That warning actually made me never want to pick Charybdis ever again. Like, when I played against someone who actually, like, played pressure supports, I was like, this character's actually dog water. Like, because last night I played against, like, you know, Guardians, and then I played against you on Warriors, and I was just like, I can't do damage. Like, she literally just walks at me on cooldown, and I just pew 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 for literally nothing. And it's... Like, I genuinely thought Charybdis was decent, and then I played against you, and I was just like, oh god, this is awful. This kind of also looks like just a team fight diff.
Most of this game has been Johnny. Look, 8-2 and 6, you can't complain about that. 5-0 and 7, Johnny has been a huge part of this, but that fight
Yeah,
is
I think they're kind of just getting womby combied. I'm just tired. I slept. Well, I woke up at like 2:30, this morning, and I think I went back to sleep at like 6 or 7, but I didn't actually sleep well. So yeah.
The Valkaries get it. If they were able to burn zeros down just slightly faster, look, Scream's there. He's got good damage, low health. Gotta give that credit. But Rabbit just respawned. I'm starting to get a little nervous about the Valkaries right there. But luckily for them, again, they have the damage necessary. That is again a great fight, a great initiation from Zeros to start things off. That Chang'e, I don't anticipate needing to be banned. That is something that you have to plan for now, knowing that Zeros is willing to pull it back out. It looked really good alongside Johnny's Loki, and those two being back in their stride, it is a lot more reminiscent of what we saw at the beginning of the year from this team than anything we saw in Phase 2.
Just a dangerous ultimate. Zeros able to help turn around with Johnny right at the tail end of the game. And Valkyries take game number 1. We're gonna take it to a break and kill a little bit of a rest after that, and we'll bring right back to the deaths right after.
I think the Solar Scarabs come away with a much better composition.
On Loki. But this is where I think we saw a lot of the strengths was the map play from the Scarabs. They were able to very early on get some Furies, steal away a Fury as well. They don't have that same technical level of play. So it's going to come down to these games.
Scream teleports over, uses Second Monkey in the Fear No Evil off the mark, but Ducky's stunned down. Now it's down ultimate from SOT that picks up Ducky and drops him right down. Johnny does have the ultimate available. He's not going to use it to get the kill for SOT. He'll just use the front onside over and smash is good. Johnny needs a way out. He's got the ultimate. Why hasn't he used it? He'll use it to go ahead and try and break angles with Scream, but Blink can't make sure the Scream closes the gap until the stun from Zeros. Make sure to back him away. Scream is not giving up just yet. I think Johnny may have recognized this, but can he turn this fight around in his favor? That's a whole other question.
I think if you have a little resistance, which soon enough, guess what you're going to have? Hercules alongside you with Scream.
No way.
If he sees him start the blue buff, I'd go for that.
They're one ultra actually duty, yeah.
Already has the upper hand over and smash use and one more basic plus the somersault Scream.
Oh,
He's already used his lead. Kentucky close it.
that was the best pop.
Scream just needs to find a way over the wall. Plays a minion fortune for Rapper, and that's gonna make sure that Scream gets out.
You feel that every
That pain,
ounce of
man.
your being in the Valkyries right there. I mean, you know, a little bit of pressure on Rapper because he hits the minion with it, but you also have to look at the.
If you could like transport straight to if you could transport like straight to mid game, I think that Kratos would be very good. But her early game is just so bad.
Just now takes over. Johnny going for that little 1v1 may not have been the most fun for him, though he did what damage he could. However, with this Jotun's wrath online and maybe looking for more, Rapper goes plot only, finds nobody with no tail whip on tail end, and Johnny gets slammed against the wall, and that's an easy pick for someone with no beads.
Yeah, I said she was gonna be like absolutely awful.
The fact that he got out of that last play in this right side jungle was already ludicrous for them, but now being able to isolate and kill off Johnny, Johnny is the.
And then I thought I was wrong.
There's still a lot of room for
And then I was actually correct.
This pace up for the Scarabs, then we're going to see a much more large gap between these two in about 5 minutes, and then they should be able to start rolling with punches and really finding themselves a win.
No Zoom Orb here for Zeros. This will actually be a Charon's coin. We've typically been seeing the Doom Orb coupled with this. The more he gives her a little bit of extra movement speed. Like I say, you put on the Zoomies to bring the Doomies, but not going to bring it here in game number 2, or at least not in that route. It'll be a lost artifact for a second item, so could be going for some extra cooldown reduction, something that Morgans love, because of how long that ultimate is in the early stages of the game. What is it, like 140
God.
or 160
What in my mouth?
Rank 1?
Yeah, you feel that you transform.
Was that a parsley leaf?
From your first ult. You're very sad about it. It is such a long time. I mean, almost 3 minutes that you're having to sit. And admittedly balanced because of
Destiny.
your ultimate, but it's just so long to have to deal with it. And so far, Zeros
Oh, dude.
there have been quite a few
Oh, that
moments
makes me want to
where
throw up.
from him that hasn't happened, and a few moments where
Okay, that actually tastes
Well,
it was falling into 11.
Has so much potential built
Come
up.
back, baby.
But if we actually get to see any of that, is a different story.
1,500 gold lead for the Scares. They've been able to amass themselves early on in the game. Only 8 minutes in, 4-2 are the kills. And, well, 3 of those 4 kills are in the hands of Scream. He's been a part of all 4 of them. So keep your eyes on the jungler for the Scares. He is going to be the one trying to continue making waves for his team at level 10 compared to level 8. Robin Johnny has not had that same level of success as his opposition. Ducky, he's going to try and go for a box against SOT, but with that dash use, he's got to force the beats from Ducky. The Fear No Evil is good, but Ducky trying to make back to the tower. Quick response to his ultimate. Gets him out of one, a double push into the tower, trying to turn the fight back around. But can he turn around even enough? No, he will not. Scream with the overhead smash. Grabs him under the tier 1. Yeah, this is
I was trying to do the 2 and the 3, Malphus.
The pilots of the entire game through the duration of it. A little bit of sprinkling against Zeros. Scream plays later on. So far, it's just been what can the Valkyries get back?
I'm not trying to 3, baby.
Over and leave out for Zero. Scream will chase him down and pick him up. Johnny is now back in the midst of the fight. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but still looking for even more. Johnny does have his ultimate available. Use it to disengage. Inbound dashes in with 4 members of the Scares pushing down their jungler. There's no reason why you shouldn't be running away. Johnny
Wait, Stewart's here?
But with 4 Scarabs on his tail, not sure if this jungler's gonna make that array kick is good, but not long enough to save his life. Scream will grab and extend the Scared kill count to 7.
This is, again, good engagements. You only lose SOT in that, and you've got Scream saying it's 0-1. I don't think you're sad about anything that's going on right now. Scream is playing out of their mind, and with these Fear No Evils, especially one coming back up, Gold Fury's right around the corner. This is a really good position for the Valkyries, or sorry, for the Scarabs to be in, especially since they're looking to collapse on Emil. He'll have to use his beads and quick Bifrost to get himself out. He'll go just far enough where inbound cannot chase him, and now it's Rapper, who's in a bit of a sticky situation. He'll get caught out by the root. He'll dash towards the tower.
Yeah, I am speedrunning today's VOD. And by the time I watch yesterday's VOD.
Unfortunately, it's Scream who picks up his 7th kill. All 8 kills he's been a part of, and 7 of them have gone towards his name. Ducky uses his own ultimate to immune SOTs. But SOT did this last time. There was 2 of them. Might need the extra help to get the kill. Ducky will dash away, and now with backup from Johnny, SOT maybe the one turned on. Ghastly Breath goes down to mitigate wounds, but the stun from the paralyzing spit. This CC's not even necessary. It's just the damage. SOT's trying to fight away over that wall. Johnny Ruben plays a good front onslaught. The beats keep him from going down too much further. Up Fear No Evil. Scream is back, and goodbye, Johnny.
All right, so good news, bad news time. Bad news.
Okay.
Scream's 7-0-2, and you just floundered a kill, unfortunately, against SOT.
Right.
And gave up a double kill over to the solo laner. Not a good position to be in. Good news.
Okay.
If you kill Scream, that's a big bounty.
Yeah, that's massive.
I mean, it's a big if as well at this point. But if you're able to do so, I mean, there's a 3-level difference in the jungle that will really help equalize things if Johnny's able to find that kill. But that's where the biggest difference is right now, and admittedly, the gold is really starting to show up. You can see tier 3 items are being finished. Maybe tier 1 items are getting picked up after those tier 3s here as the second item for the Scares. But that experience in the jungle is really going to start being felt because you've got a 2-level lead over the opposing mid laner, 2-level lead over the solo laner, 4-level lead, 5-level lead, no, 4, did the math right first time, over Rapper, things like that.
I've got a question for you, Gormizer.
Hopefully I've got an answer.
So there's a Morgan in this game, correct? And there's a Hoonbot in this game, correct? Yep. Why have we not seen a Morgan Hoonbot transformation? Why are we only seeing these Robin transformations out of Zero so far?
Because Zeros is making bad choices.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all the hints.
And I mean that in more ways than one. Not just the ultimate. I just haven't seen them impact any of these fights the way that they should be so far.
I mean, if you have the opportunity to have a Hoonbots on your team, yes, they took Hoonbots away, and that was one thing that we were kind of going over, while the desk was doing their segment. We kind of talked a little bit about, where does does Johnny go with his pick? Now they banned the Tsukiyomi themselves. The Loki got taken out.
Like,
We don't think
all of the picks that we thought were better for him did not get locked in.
Right, none of those got locked in.
We went through 4 different junglers.
And we also completely ignored the fact that there is a Hunbots in the game. They could have picked up Hunbots, had 2 of those on their team, but now you at least have the opportunity to have 1 of those. And I mean, let's not mince words. Hunbots is kind of nuts right now. Captain Twig has been a perfect showcase, and let's ignore Captain Twig right now. Scream has been a perfect showcase for this Solar Scarab team to show just how good that god is. The fact that Zeros has yet to use that transformation to get up here and himself and try and impact those team fights, I'm gonna say it's a little bit criminal here.
And honestly, I think that the Valkaries, especially the way they played in game 1, was great. But this is a lot more of it's an unfortunate position to be in when this is more or less what you expect. This could be a good pick. I think they still have good ways to fight into this. But with the Scarabs amassing this lead, if they get this Gold Fury, you're really starting to get your backs against the wall. You cannot be in that kind of position 14 minutes.
Gold Fury gotta have Ducky in the backline. Misses the plug, but still has the driving strike. He needs a Rapper pulls SOT. It's a quick leap out by the Soul Laner. Zeros in the backline. Goes to the open, but doesn't get anybody with it. Stewart will manage to walk away. Had to use his beads to get out, but it's now Rapper in the waters. Now Fear No Evil out of screen to turn the fight back around.
Yeah, thanks to the host, Hazer. Wait, you're Hazer. You're still streaming?
Ammo with the Bifrost gets out of danger for the time, but the Valhalla Valkyries have to walk away. There's no
Wait, did SPL just end or something?
Their support Rapper has nowhere to go. Johnny maybe
Can I send Blitz an autograph? Sure.
The ghastly breath is too much. Veronic gets the kill. 12 on the board for the Solar Scarab, and already a 4
What up, Hazer viewers? Wait, was he still streaming? Wait, I mean like not. Was SPL still going on?
Another one on the board for the Scarabs. Gold Fury goes their way, and the gold gets ever more out of control. 4,500, actually over 5,000 gold, close to 5,500 now for the Solar Scarabs. And Emil, he walked back in the lane, and that might be all he gets to do is walk in lane.
Yeah, hang out here for a little bit. He's getting some decent damage against SOT.
No.
Just. Yeah, that one just hurts.
That was some Spain right there, but the S is silent.
They're living it right now for the Valkyries, too. That is just unfortunate. I mean, that has been the game, though. The 3 kills they've got, admittedly all on Johnny, but I have not seen a big enough impact from them. The map play is going in favor of the Scarabs, and that was the way it was last game. The Scarabs are losing all of the fights each time they did that. This time, you're winning all of the fights and winning the map play. And this is what we would have expected. I think that, Mifflin had said it on the desk where he was referencing that, there was a must-win, especially, and I'm going to throw it out there. The Scarabs were saying they were easily a top 5 team, and that they were going to prove it here in Phase 3. So far, I've been unfortunately falling short. I think they've done a really great job pushing a lot of top teams to 3, but they are still 0-3 in the standings, right? They haven't been able to amass that. And as much as, there is that...
I'm checking out what the raw things for Tier 1. They finished like 15 minutes ago? Good lord, that's a long day of SPL. So for the podcast? Yeah, kind of, but I'm not really paying attention.
They need to figure out game 1, man. I'm looking at the Scarabs' grand scheme, and I don't know what it is about it. They gotta figure it out. If it means playing a conquest...
Kind of looks like Scream is, pogging right now.
Like it's game 2 to start it out. Maybe that's what they need, but maybe then that causes then game 2 to turn into game 3. But then what does game 4 look like for the Scarabs? We haven't had a chance. Have we had a chance to see what game 4 for the Scarabs? Okay, so far we haven't got to see a game 4 Scarabs. Maybe it's a little bit different. So maybe it's those even games for the Scarabs that are the most impactful for them. We'll see how it goes here in potentially game number 3. Solar Scarabs are looking to run away with this one. 7,000 gold up over the Valkyries.
Good news for the Scarabs.
Okay.
The group stage of Phase 3 is all best of 5s. Well, there's an opportunity to potentially
Nice.
see 4 of what the Scarabs have to offer. It's just,
They get water? Yeah. They got water.
It's not necessarily just them. I think they look decent in game 1 as well. It's just that Johnny looked better. Ducky looked better. You look at this now. Ducky's 0-4 has had virtually no impact on this game in the grand scheme of things versus what Odin was able to provide. Johnny, while he's all of the kills the Valkyries have, I can't remember the last time I saw an impactful play from this Robin right now, and that's saying something. Your jungler, especially in this matter, will get Scream 12 out of 14 effective kills, is necessary to look good. We haven't seen a lot of good transformations out of Zeros, and Emil's just been doing his best to stay alive half the time. I think that's what you're looking at it. Yeah, he's doing a great job of that. Look, thumbs up on all accounts by not dying, but it is not by any means showcasing anything that is hopeful to turn this game around, and that's the problem right now. I think the Scarabs are in a great position. They are controlling this game and playing it the exact way they need to, and the way things are going with them, especially with all the relics they have up, all the ults they have up, they don't need a fire giant to be able to pressure out tier 2s.
Your frontliners are so under level and trying to put up a soft tier 2 defense. SOT, he'll be able to walk away, no problem. Rapper gets hit by the Cyclone, knocked up, and over half of his health already gone. Meanwhile, Inbound just drop a monolith right in the middle of everything and heal himself and his team right back up. Zeros hits a stun against SOT, and now Zeros in with the transformation zone, but the forward of Fear No Evil. I scream to separate the entire
Oh, Hobbs up there.
Zeros picks him up on the tail end, but it's SOT with an even bigger ultimate. He throws 3 right back in.
That was a massive serval.
But Scream takes him down, and it's only Ducky, the lone survivor of the Valkyries.
Like, if this team had Fire Giant, honestly, even if they don't, you at least get this tier 2. You should be able to get it. Look how long you have before anybody's back. A Phoenix is easily accomplished here, and you might be able to end the game.
Yeah, Mill and Rapper are good.
There will be some respawns, but you have a lot of
It's just, ping. Exania, Emilito's sick.
It just has to sit back and watch this. What's he gonna do? He's level 15.
Like,
Inbound is almost that level.
basically, if you wanna know... Okay, that was actually sick. That was a sick combo.
Like you said, maybe like the perfect dream just for the Scarabs. You get 4 with the Fear No Evil, then 3 with the Stygian Torment. I'm drooling at the thought of that happening if I'm playing. That is just such a good combo to be able to find yourselves. You get Phoenix on the back end of it. You've affected 16 now out of 18 kills of your Scream. I mean, you are absolutely on fire if you're the Solar Scarabs this game. And I think that they are playing the exact way that I expected them to play today. But admittedly, a little bit of a fumble in game 1. This is more or less what kind of fire I wanted to see out of this team.
So right now we're kind of in these territories of gods that we must see banned away, whether it be by player or just by god in nature. Ullr is one of those ones that teams are just saying, yeah, we don't want to play against that. If you are not first pick, you're banning Ullr. I'm starting to get in that same realm here with the Hunbots. If you are not a first pick team, you might want to start looking to ban this Hunbots away because the level of impact this god has been able to have, even with a couple of the losses that he's had, it is absolutely no surprise how much this god can do with a single Fear No Evil is all it takes to turn a team fight. Even with the Scarabs, yeah, they were already up in that fight. What, 8,000 plus gold? So you're expecting Fear No Evil's going to do something. But when you get this level of impact, it effectively halted any potential progress the Valkyries had. And now with it, the Solar Scarabs are able to start setting up for this Fire Giant. I'm looking at game 3 here. I'm probably saying get rid of this Hunbot, get rid of the Ullr, whatever else you need to. Get Johnny on something comfortable and maybe get Rapper a little bit of help here. Scream is just running him down on this Hunbot.
Wait for the stream today?
Through the realms from Emil. We'll catch out inbound. He'll be launched right back into the tower of SOT.
Watch back the games.
He was under the tower. Why is he not dead yet?
Yeah, inbound is so nonplussed by that play. Now they're going to be able to get If you're wondering what your solo laner looks like when they fall behind.
Dude, I was so close to telling Aggro I was gonna skip today's podcast. Well, not skip it, but like push it to tomorrow. I was so tired, I was like, no, I can do it, man. But the longer I sit here, the more tired I get.
He is already gone. SOT picks him up, and a Solar Scarabs clean up game number 2 to tie tie up the set.
Yeah, the Scarabs were just impressive that game. I mean, you got to see it in the solo lane, you got to see it in the jungle, and you got to see a lack of that presence equally on the.
Be the ones who take it. Game.
He's not stressed at all. All he has to do is make sure not to die against Stewart. He's exactly what it was with those little B boxes that were sitting back after that pull from inbound or any of those abilities tossed out. Those new pods from his passive. Pick one of those up and you get.
Wait, AMC Gab.
Across the board. That's not just your first ability.
Hog?
Your ultimate. So a nice little change to Sylvanas' passive here. It's pretty good. And when
Can I already with dash?
across the board.
Even better.
And it's also getting up later. It's going to be a little 17 sooner rather than later. I think it's 8.10 when that one will come through, so you'll be able to get that just a little bit sooner because it's not too often that you do get hit. It's not very often you get hit level 20 as a support, so being able to at least have that additional bit of passive will be nice.
All supports bleeding from.
Yeah, I really thought about it, man.
Come on, guys, I need that wave. I'm so close.
I am a very big fan of having that drop down to 17. Plus, it matches with the starter item, so it makes a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things. Feels good. And of course, with the way Sylvanas has been performing lately, it's going to be, I mean, a good hefty buff to him. We'll see if maybe that jumps his priority for a lot of these other teams. Because, like, Scarabs, Kings, a couple of other teams have had him on the radar, but not as many have been willing to lock him in, especially not as highly as they have. I like inbound performance on him so far the last few times we've got to see it. And I'm excited to see again the good pulls that are capable of it. Good news is Chunga theoretically will be able to see them coming in and maybe two come out. Serket's got a lot of mobility. You've got Geb shields on your side. There's a lot of control, I think, against inbound. But that doesn't mean a good pick's still not going to happen every now and then.
I think now I'll probably get called out here and some will definitely care, but I think we've only seen 3 supports so far this phase pick the Sylvanas up, inbound being the most active of them.
Oh, yeah, I think I will sleep very good tonight.
Force out the piercing moonlight dash, but it's only Johnny who's getting hit by the damage. SOT caught in the middle and stunned down, looking for a way out. He gets plunged right back into the clutches of the Valkaries. There's another kill on the board. This time Zero's credited for him. BaRRaCCuDDa super low on mana. Ducky is trying to find a path in.
Ooh, Johnny. Ooh.
Oh! The Valkaries put up a 4-kill swing and 5 on the board.
Okay, Valkaries, where the hell were you in game 2, man? This is like it's so vastly different from the start they had, and it makes me wonder a little bit. And this is by no means bad picks for the Scarabs. This is a good Scarabs draft.
Gorgeous sounded a lot like Finch, and it made me sad.
Good play. A lot of damage that comes out of Johnny, but good plays from Zeros. I really like Zeros on this Chunga, and I do think that, admittedly, like in game 2, you probably need the right things around it, so sometimes you're not going to be able to lock it in as readily as you might want. But damn, that healing and damage is not helpful. And you also have to think about it. Chunga, we didn't talk about this much in game 1, anti-heal. Inherently in the kit. If you do pick up a Divine Ruin, which with the Sylvanas on the other side might not be too out of the question, then you are 90% anytime you hit
A lot better,
you
Blitz.
are essentially a very small, admittedly, but
I am owed a good night of sleep.
And it can be a massive swing for them. Plus, Divine Ruin's not a bad item to pick up in terms of power and everything else. So it does feel good. Of course, that's why you see BaRRaCCuDDa picking it up as well. Even if you're just getting the 40% from Divine Ruin, that is a baseline number that can help deal with small heals like Chunga's or like Ducky is going to have. Also, an anti-heal inside the setback. Oh my lord. Really, really good combos to help deal with inbound.
I just looked over and saw his little 10 versus 7 in the solo lane. The Scarabs want to try and be a bit proactive on the map. Only Johnny is here to defend against the Cold Fury. Emil on the way, and Zero's wrapping around. Stewart gets separated from the fight through the realms, tosses out one, Scream dives in the back against Emil, but they drop the Cold Fury. Over inbound, only finds Zeros. A quick community steps away, stunned only at Emil, and Zeros is trying to find an option out. He will walk away. The Cold Fury is stopped. Scream takes them down, and another kill on the board for Johnny.
That is about the best case scenario you can think for that fight if you're the Valkaries. Admittedly, there's maybe some wiggle room in an alternate universe, a couple more kills. Who cares? You are able to not only thwart a Gold Fury early from the Scarabs, which is what helps them stay in game 1 much longer, but you push them back, you lower a lot of that, you don't lose anybody in the process. A good play from Zeros to make sure that he doesn't die there. But Johnny hitting that taunt was the just perfect, right where you needed to be on the target you needed to be against, and shutting down Screen. You had mentioned it was 10 at the time to 7, now 8 with Solar Soul taking up 8, but also 10-8 in the jungle here. Johnny's been able to amass a small lead. If he can keep up this level of play, this is exactly what they needed that they were missing in game 2.
And this is perfect for Emil because it's one thing that Mifflin was highlighting on the death stat. If this Tsukuyomi gets anywhere near this AMC, you might as well just call him a dead beat. But because that fight happened so far on the right-hand side of the map, Emil's not stressed at all. All he has to do is make sure not to die against Stewart. And he's done good about that so far. 0-1 and 0-0 for Stewart. And even in that last fight, Emil was willing to walk forward. He drops down the Honey, drops down the Swarm, and you see Scream targets Emil just a little bit, but Emil's really not deterred. He's got the backup of Zeros, and that little bit of healing from the Chunga is enough to keep him alive. Valhalla Valkyries on 6-0, 2,000 gold.
Whoa.
Over the Solar Scarabs here, 10 minutes in, and already looking like they want to try and potentially run away with this game. But it is only 10 minutes. We have seen this from many teams before. They pull an early lead, and then one team fight is all it takes to turn
What?
around.
Yeah, it's been a really cursed thing to do against the Bolts lately.
Yeah, 10,000 gold is kind of.
Is Stream trying to wake me up?
You hit 20k, that was like your losing tell because they were going to win, but against the Bolts, it's been 10k the last couple of days.
It's been an interesting dynamic for them, and nowhere near that amount of lead here for the Valkyries, so ultimately nothing too bad for the Scarabs. Those 6 kills definitely is a good showcase, I think, to start things off. A great pickup, and now they're looking to
Here's ads, just kidding.
2 versus 3, Zeros and Emil now rotating over. Inbound, in the middle of all the Cataclysm is good. The Stinger hits inbound, he has nowhere to run, slow down, let's use his ultimate, but Johnny will toss it right back in, and the ultimate just to secure the kill on top. It'll be Emil credited with the kill, and a 7th one marks for the Valkyries, continuing to push this early aggression.
And a lot of times I complain about overkill, and I am going to say, that feels a little bit like overkill a lot, but at the end of the day, you get the kill, and you know what, sometimes that's more worthwhile. I think that's always the
Thank you, Fusion.
And you are able to push out zone out, you get a red buff steal, I do believe. No, it looks like that was secured by the Scarabs. It's not something BaRRaCCuDDa is able to grab, but it is something that is stripped away from them. Zeros now has a buff where BaRRaCCuDDa is lacking. You get a kill, you get a tower. At the end of the day, all of those ultimately get more worthwhile. This is good proactive play from the Valkyries, very, very lacking there in game number 2. And more
That's it. You big tires are making me tired. What do you mean?
But the coerce that was so helpful in game number 1.
I was trying to make boiled peanuts earlier, and Dustin was laying on the couch. Now she's saying I'm making her tired.
They've got a lot of control around these team fights.
SOT, watch out, man. A plug from Ducky and a rotation from Johnny around and top back in. And SOT is as good as dead. The ultimate will just separate him for a little while longer, but it's just that last breath tick that takes him out. Another kill for Johnny that puts him at 3-0 and 5, 2-0-4 for Ducky. And this is what was able to win the Valkyries game 1, was get Johnny, get Ducky ahead, allow Zeros and Emil to just kind of free farm. And we're seeing that repeated here in game 2 or 3.
And I'm surprised to see, normally ganks like that, especially when 3 people show up, you think that you're going to start pressuring out. And with Merlin damage, I would start pressuring out a Gold Fury. You know you have good burn. But again, it's that lack of secure for both of these teams right now. You can break pretty quickly if you're the Scarabs in terms of like Gold Furies, Pyromancers, things like that. But all it takes is Zeros walking over with an ult and stunning all of you, swiping the Gold Fury away, potentially killing somebody in the process. And things just start to spiral out of control, mentally, at least in my eyes there. Especially with Amus and Cobb hanging around. I think that Emilito, I mean, he's 1-1, we haven't got to see a whole ton of this just yet. but we know that AMC hits hard. You can see that damage now.
Cold Fury started up, the Honey dropped under the Fury, gets some extra damage. Scream off to the sidelines, will throw some poke with the Caltrops, but the two-man ultimate from Rapper, not open.
Ooh.
It's another big kill. Make that two for the Valhalla Valkyries. They push the Scarabs back.
That was such a good Sir Cat ultimate from Johnny. The poison spread immediately from inbound onto SOT. Made it so much easier the minute he jumps that pops. If he had gone the other way and that popped, then the Scarabs are in a much worse position, at least kill-wise. Although they're still in a pretty bad position. Not only do they lose those two picks widely, but then a good Gold Fury pick up for the Valkyries as well. Gives them a lot of gold into zero as of right now. I mean, this is, again, night and day from game number 2, but a lot more shades of game 1 coming. Not even shades, they're doing better than they did in game number 1. And this is what I wanted out of the Valkyries. I've been missing it from the Valkyries. You can feel the burn that they have in this game.
You're saying, yo, where was this in game number 2? I'm asking, where was this any other point during the season? Sure, they've had some alright early games against some of the other teams, named Dragons and Leviathans. They were able to push both of those teams upwards towards 30 minutes of game 1, but they have not looked this clean against any other team so far this phase, really. Even since their win up against the Scarabs back in phase number 2, this might be the cleanest Valkyries that we have seen in a long time.
Like you said, David mentioned it, but like the last time this team got a single game win was up against the Scarabs there in phase 2, week 4, I believe. Not only that, it's been an 11-set loss streak for them since then. Their max prior to that one win they had against the Scarabs was 13 in a row. And so this is something that is a big turnaround for them. One, trying not to break their own record, ideally, but two, trying to showcase a little bit more. I mean, this is actually going to cause some really interesting dynamics in the group stage if you think about it. Being able to throw the Valkyries and the Scarabs into one, and knowing that this one could
Go faster, I can't.
It makes some interesting conversations.
I'm old. How do I promote a new YouTube channel without being scummy?
So you have a very slim chance, like I'm talking a 1%er max of being able to get in the top 2, and that's just because I can't
I don't know.
remember all of the current standings, even if you are able to make it. That might change based on what you
Are you asking me to promote your YouTube channel in my chat? Yo, welcome in Hazer. Thanks so much, Kyle the Ginger, for getting a sub. Ooh, first sub. Thanks, man.
If the Valkyries can manage to get a win here, because now you can potentially throw both the Valks and the Scarabs, as you were talking about, in the same group and kind of make a very interesting conversation between those. But now Ducky, after taking tier 1 tower, he's lurking in the water. Scream, trying to poke him as much as he can. It's a huge rotation.
LOL, Sobek. Right, guys.
And a Rapper right behind him. A Dante from Johnny. A triple cataclysm out of Rapper. Make sure that the Valkyries can bail themselves out. A shield on Rapper's side. Good pull from inbound. They finally might be able to get that first kill on the board. It's gonna be against Rapper. Credit for the kill, Johnny Ducky, but Zero's in the backline. He picks up one. He'll use the moonlight waltz to get himself out, being chased by SOT. Maybe they can pick up their second kill inbound. Gets that one. Johnny and Ducky have to go on a full retreat. The Sierras finally get on the board, and in a big way, they take 3. But Emil all the while, he strips away the entire left side of the map.
That's kind of wild they died.
From Sylvanas, they can continue this push because they have the minion wave with them and their carry available. I think Emil makes a great call being able to push up right there. But unfortunately, the team just wasn't able to win Zeros. If that ult was saved just slightly, it helps him get the kill. But if he was able to save it and hit more people with it, might have been a much easier swing or much easier survival for him. That is a great.
I don't think they really traded up there.
As I thought it would in the gold, especially because they weren't able to continue their onslaught onto that tier 2 like I hoped. So they don't trade that out. Emil makes an even better call because of it. But they do have to be wary because that goes to show that even though you have this massive lead, Valkyries can very easily be thwarted in the right scenario.
One man trickling every single time.
Oh my god, that's playlist of 2, baby.
Happy day. Shows up is when the 4th one is there. Now you're just saying, Zeros, come on, man. Where's our 4th? Where's our last man? Even this out. By the time Zeros gets in, everybody is at such critical health. He uses the blink. Notably, he's on blink a second game on this Chong Gus, trying to get to his backline. Ultimate from Rapper, a taunt from Johnny, gets the beads from SOT. That's gonna be a lot expended just to get those away from him. Emil will try and even out as far as these oracles go, and he will split them one once. No vision control goes to the Fury. The Valkyries still have a 5,000 gold lead up over the Scarabs here in game 3.
I think the biggest commit, Rapper without Cataclysm. I mean, that Cataclysm has been the playmaker, especially with Primal Fury coming up relatively soon. Not having that does open some opportunities for the Scarabs to continue to be aggressive. Not maybe as widely as they would want, but I see Johnny's beats are down, Zero's beats are down. Zero's also went blink on the Chong Gus.
I think it was StarCraft. Yeah, I think it is StarCraft. That, like the normal game speed for. No. Bruh. Oh no, the point spread. Rapper.
Just alive there for Stewart. You know what? You don't even care. Look, yeah, walk out of there. Good luck. Whip away Scarabs. That is what the Valkyries are feeling. Let's talk about Shockwave for a second. It's good. 75% damage of the max ability. Right?
That's so dumb, dude.
From Geb. That is a huge deal for Rapper to be able to time that so well. That's a great steal. Plus, they get a kill on the side. He spreads the poison. If Sot is able to get out of there without doing so, the Scarabs might be able to pick up a couple of those kills afterward. I don't know if I like the start of the Fire Giant, but I definitely like picking the fight. Maybe it's just a bait inbound. Already half thrown back with the ultimate from Johnny.
I think Adapting said he would come back to SPL if he could play it from Europe.
It's not going to be enough to take Stewart out, but he has been RKO'd and TKO'd out of here. He is not going to be a part of any more fights. SOT down to half. The Valkyries, they win the fight. What more will they gain from it? They get the blink out of SOT.
Now is when you start up Fire Giant. You see SOT's back. In fact, you probably should have started a few seconds earlier. You have a good opportunity to do it. You've got healing, but BaRRaCCuDDa, Scream, soon to be Stewart are the only ones that can fight you for it. Johnny's got a good beeline to the backline. He's going to be able to fight.
Oh, Scream, you may be in danger. He stuns one, but he won't even have a chance to get the ultimate. Ducky takes him, but BaRRaCCuDDa deals a nice chunk of damage right back to the 3 frontliners for the Valhalla Valkyries. They're going to have to lick their wounds and go back to base. But 2 big picks. They delay the Fire Giant just a little bit. So Scarabs are able to hold out, but man, it's a 7,000 gold disparity here just 21 minutes in, and this is a Valhalla Valkyries team unlike we have ever seen before.
This has been good engages, good play from them, and good control. I mean, look where a majority of the kills are. BaRRaCCuDDa has only died once. Stewart hasn't died at all. He's been able to survive throughout all of these. But it doesn't matter because inbounds 1 and 4, they've been doing a good job of picking off the Sylvanas. The same thing for SOT. The Osiris has been ulting out more than ulting in, and that amount of control has been very helpful.
Fire Giant down to half a pluck against SOT. Throws him a Cataclysm. Shreds a bit of that health far away, and Johnny wants to close it out. Ultimate hits. Is immediately out by SOT. Ducky in the water. Hunting for inbound. Finds the pluck. Throws him back. And it's going to force another ultimate out of the Scarabs defensively. Double ult by Zeros. But only Stewart is the one in danger. He's down to half health. And again, they take another TKO against the Scarabs, sending 2 of them back to base.
Scream still has ult, so does Stewart, so that is going to be a big deal for them. And the fact that admittedly, some of them are on the cooldown. I think the Scarabs are going to be able to continue putting up a fight, but you still get a good consolation prize inside of that Pyromancer. It's a good pickup for the Valkyries. The Scarabs are unfortunately not able to control this mainly because they can't dictate how the fight starts. They are the ones moving forward to fight. They're the ones trying to get in there. And then the Valkyries are saying, okay, we're going to reposition all of you. We've got Cataclysm. We've got good plus. We are going to make you feel uncomfortable.
Fire low. Inbound SOT here. Blinks are down, but SOT isn't caring about the fire. He's going for the fight. Emil is low. Now the afterlife fuse.
No way!
No shot.
He's on the retreat. Zeros.
Bruh.
Gets caught out. Stewart picks him up, and the Scarabs may have just been able to turn this around.
Bruh. Why are you 50-50ing your whole game?
This is a great opportunity for the Scarabs, plus the kill on Johnny. He goes too deep. The Scarabs, I'm sorry, the Valkaries hold on to that one a little bit too much. They had way better opportunities for the Fire Giant prior to this, but that time around with no.
Prid to install it? Valkyries are cursed, man. Oh!
Maybe not the ideal kill. There should still be at least a tier 1, potentially a tier 2 tower push from the Scarabs. Ideally, you're going to get the Zoni Fury as well. No qualms about it. Without zeros for another 30 seconds, you are just defending if you are the Valkyries. You're not looking for a life box. And that's where those beads, that blink specifically, maybe comes back to bite them. Look, you've got that immunity built up for yourself. There's only so much you can do.
Emil, don't stand up here. Don't stand up here, my man. Scream will stun him out. The couch poked it.
Oh no.
Now we get to see exactly what a Supiomi can do to an AMC. Though granted, Emil probably shouldn't be standing all the way to tier 2 tower, knowing that the Scarabs are still on this side of the map. You even saw he was looking, saying, are they going to come out? But by that point, it's already too late.
That's just bad. There's no way to gloss over it. There's no reason for you to be there. You know that they're on that side of the map, and you have no ward coverage. You hear an Oni Fury call. Maybe you're thinking, okay, maybe they backed off. At the minimum, they still have Fire Giant and their Hunter and 2 front lines alive. Like, of course they're going to go for a tower. Maybe not enough to pressure tier 2, but that just feels like, again, 2 really big missteps from the Valkyries. One in that death, but one in the Fire Giant prior. And again, that gold lead, as of the Valkyries took so long, 21 minutes, I think, up to that point, cultivating, is gone in the blink of an eye. It just feels like that was 2 really unfortunate scenarios for them after some really great fights.
I mean, we're looking close to 8,000-9,000 experience, which matters a little bit less now, especially SOT still a little bit behind. But that 7,000-8,000 gold that the Valkyries had, all but gone. 2,000 less than that, only 1,500.
Well, Willie Derpy Derp thanks for 13.
Have not been picked up by everybody just yet, and Johnny used a lot of his mobility and damage.
Well, Matt, baby.
By the members of the Scarabs, and he'll thankfully probably just have to give this one up. I'm looking at it now. We were talking about the
No, don't do that, Crimson. Don't do that.
The only anti-heal item that I see on this team is on Emil of all people right now. I mean, admittedly, yeah, you got.
Because they were hard winning this game before they trolled the fire. Oh, pretty good poke though.
The bees are spreading like wildfire against the Scarabs. They're starting to feel the burn of this AMC. Stewart, well under half health. Rapper rolls to the back. Knockup will find 3, but nothing more from the Valkyries. They hold on and defend their left side Phoenix, so that will still stand for the next Fire Giant.
Mid, they've got fire minions and they've got 30 seconds without Johnny. Luckily, Johnny's going to respawn, same thing for Scream, just in time for that FG. Like you said, they defend that left side. That's maybe the most important thing. You can stem the bleeding of a red mid Phoenix down.
I mean, I don't mind the AMC. Like, if you look at how much peel he has on his team, I don't mind the AMC pick. He's got a Sobek making room. He's got a Serket making room. Like, literally all 4 of the characters on his team make a lot of room for him. So I don't really mind it. I don't think AMC, like, just dies. He's only died once. I mean, you can always pick, like, a safer hunter, obviously, but they won't do the same in, like... Oh, what a... Oh, zeros. I don't mind that play. Oh, no. And they lose. And they lose.
There's not much he can do once he's in the fray there. The blink is great for an engage, not for any sort of disengage. He had to use his beads, had to use his whole kit, still unable to do anything. Same thing for Emil, the only other like maintainable source.
Yeah, I mean, I understand your point of like him being an easy to kill hunter, but you have to look at like the grand scheme of things instead of like the like black and white situation, I guess.
And I like this because guess what? That's a weekend Phoenix. It should be pretty easy with this Fire Giant already on your belt. It's taking a little bit of time. Rapper gets a good Cataclysm.
Those 1-2, Stewart low, Johnny dealing with SOT, who's playing the perfect distraction for the Scarabs and letting the rest of his team try and slay up this mid lane. Scream still alive, he'll put some good poke in mid lane. Phoenix falls. The Scarabs now strip 2 of the 3 birds off the map, and with the left side one already a little weak from their last engagement, they'll try and push this one out too.
Again, good damage. They've got good capabilities, but 15 seconds still without Ducky. So it's a 5 versus 4. You just can't do much here. 3 Phoenixes down. You're going to be spending more time on defense, just trying to keep the Titan alive right now, than you're going to be able to do anything on map. And that's still 2.5 minutes on this Fire Giant. I mean, a good regroup from the Scarabs. Maybe spend some of the gold you just got from burning and try to finalize any of these builds. Let's see a Wind Demon about to come out for Stewart. That's realistically the last bit of gold that you need to spend. This game is such a cinch for you at this point. You just have to do well under the Titan. That is the hard part.
Yeah, I like Bobby's build. It comes online really fast.
Up until that first FG fight. If Johnny can have one good performance in this fight, that'll swing it for them. Otherwise, it is.
Yeah, they're saying nothing can go wrong for the Valks. Trust me. Every time I've said that in my chat, something has gone wrong for the Valks. Literally every time I get excited, it's that next fight that they lose on. I don't know why.
And Johnny waiting on the back to see who they can poke. Inbound is one getting chopped by this B. Quite a bit of damage against both of these frontliners. Inbound has the sustain to stay alive.
And this is where things get awkward, right? You've got fire minions you have to deal with on one side, and then the team deal with on the other. What are you doing out there?
Rapper is all by himself in no man's land. Johnny shows up to help him out. Stewart takes a bit of damage. Ducky tries to get the final blow against, but Rapper's already down. The piercing moonlight gets one, and Stewart is somehow still alive. Zeros misses the ultimate, but he finally takes him out. It's a 2 for 1 trade. So far, Zeros falling down. Johnny and Ducky both low. Zeros goes down. Scream trying to get it, but with Ducky burned out.
That's good.
After being 8k down, they managed to steal 1 Fire Giant and then push to the end of the game. Valkyries fall in game number 3, and the Scarabs finally get that game 3 win they've been looking for all phase.
Such a great start for the Valkyries. In